Morning, nice to see you.
Good morning.
I want to start by reading something, if I can, just off the back flap, okay?
Yeah.
After the initial excitement of being a full-patch member of the gang, Joe's life spiraled into a world of drugs and debt. Eventually frustrated by Calandino's recklessness, the Hells Angels stripped him of membership. Do I have that right? Am I reading that right, that you were actually asked to leave the Hells Angels?
Yes, I was kicked out. I was making really poor choices, and at the end of the day, I got myself kicked out of the club. So, yeah.
What kind of poor choices do you have to make to get kicked out of the Hells Angels?
My drug use started spiraling. I was fighting in public places. It was a casino fight. Back in the, early 2000s, it was not something the club appreciated. And, they asked me to leave.
Yeah, I think it's a startling revelation for most folks that, your own behavior could get you kicked out of the biker gang.
Yeah.
Can you describe for us what life was like for you during that time? Was it a mix of, excitement and terror?
Yeah, I guess you've nailed it right on. It was, the excitement, living the life, the rock and roll, the whole sense of, that bravado, alpha male, being in that world, that space, that place. So, yeah, it was living the life, per se.
But living the life on the edge, right? Did you feel as if at any moment something really bad could happen?
I call it the tightrope. So, yeah, absolutely, 110%. You're on a tightrope. You're living a life that you don't know, what's going to happen day to day. So, and then after the club, I fell into addiction. I lost everything, lost my house, lost my kids, ended up a drug addict. I was in Vancouver, the Lower East Side, and spiraled right down to rock bottom. And,
Did you have, Joe, an aha moment? Was there something that just clicked that you realized that you had to turn things around?
Yeah, I was on that prison floor, and I was going through withdrawal, and along walked my arch nemesis, a gentleman I grew up with named Kevin Torvik back in the day. He went the right way. I went the wrong way. He became a biker gang task force policeman, and I became a full-patch member of the Hells Angels. And our journeys crossed again when I was on that prison floor, and I just looked up at him and said, I never want to see a kid go through this. So then the journey began, and Gary Little, the co-author of the book, got involved from a school district perspective. He was our high school counselor back in the day, and then now became the associate superintendent for the school district.
Okay, when you say that you never want to see another kid have to go through this, is that how you took this tragedy and turned it into a triumph? And can you tell us about Yo Bro, Yo Girl?
Yeah, Yo Bro, Yo Girl, is prevention-based with early intervention-based programs that run throughout Greater Vancouver. Now we're looking at a broader kind of range. And it's all about getting engaged and connected with these kids and making sure.
Is this how you, Joe, rationalized what you went through? Was because maybe you felt like you had a greater purpose? You had to get here to help others?
That's what I've always felt. I had to go through what I went through in order to get where I was going, and that's to help these kids.
All right. Well, the book is entitled To Hell and Back. The author is Joe Calandino. It is a fascinating read, a fascinating life. Joe, thank you so much. Appreciate the time.
Thank you for having me.